At the time that J.F. Pop McHale was the first athletic director at the University of Arizona is when our story starts. He coached every sports team here, including the football team, on the fateful night of November 7, 1914. The Wildcats got their name after a hard-fought football game against the Occidental College Tigers. Later that night, after a Los Angeles Times columnist wrote that the Arizona team showed the fight of Wildcats, and the name stuck. The Arizona original mascot was actually a live bobcat purchased by the freshman football team from Army blacksmith F.W. Falcons for $9.41. The team presented the bobcat, then called Tom Easter, as a gift to the student body, to whom he was first introduced at an assembly on October 18, 1915. After the introduction of the bobcat to the student body government gave him a much more fitting name, Rufus. Rufus had an untimely death on April 17, 1916, reported by the Arizona Daily Wildcat while endeavoring to perform gymnastic stunts in the limb of a tree which he was tied to. Rufus fell and was hung. Thus the original Rufus passed on, but successors soon followed. Live mascots were used on and off between the early 1900s and the late 1950s. Decades later, the Arizona student Richard Hellener and John Parkett presented the idea for a costume human mascot. On November 7, 1959, Wilbur the Wildcat was born. The idea came from a cartoon character in the university's humor magazine, Kitty Cat, created by Bob White in the 1940s. Wilbur's made his first appearance at the U of A versus Texas Tech football game. He was an immediate hit. The original costume was a head-to-toe fur with an American flag patch on the left shoulder. This costume was very cartoony and had big round eyes, a button nose, and curved black line for a mouth. Wilma was created by accident when costume designers were trying to make a different costume for Wilbur. They noticed that the costume had a feminine look, so they created Wilma instead. Wilma the Wildcat was first unveiled on March 1st, 1986 as Wilbur's blind date. Wilbur and Wilma have been going strong since their first date. They were married on November 21st, 1986 before the Arizona State football game and renewed their vows in 2006 to celebrate their 20th anniversary. Wilbur and Wilma are always unmasked at the last home basketball game of the season, and it's always an exciting experience for the entire student body. Wilbur will be 53 years old this year and is part of the Spirit program at the U of A. This program also includes Wilma and the cheerleaders. He is at every home game and is also involved in the Tucson community. He does appearances and spends times with kids all over the city of all ages.